Hey, what's going on, guys? Cup of Soup TCG here, back again with a brand new video. And today, for you guys, I will be deck profiling my Shaddoll deck profile post Rise of the Duelist. This is a pure variant of the deck, so we're talking no Dogmatica cards, no Invoke cards, just Shaddoll cards. It's a fun deck, very much so a control-orientated deck. It doesn't really make explosive boards, but what it does really well, it will grind with your opponent. And I'll show you based on my ratios and my tech choices what I mean by that. Anyway, let's get right into the main deck. So starting off, we're playing 3 Shaddoll Wendy. Really solid card, arguably one of the best cards that came out of the structure deck. Its flip effect is that we can special summon a Shaddoll monster from our deck in face up or face down defense, and when it's sent to the grave, we can special summon one Shaddoll monster from our deck in face down defense position, except Shaddoll Wendy. We can only use one effect per turn. So essential for a lot of your combo plays with Crush Sheep. There's no reason to not play this card at least 2, but I like 3 simply because I want to maximize my chances of seeing it. Now, another Shaddoll that I want to see all the time is 3 Shaddoll Squamata. Shaddoll Squamata arguably is still the best Shaddoll, even after all this time. Its flip effect, we can target a monster in the field to destroy it, and if it is sent to the grave by a card effect, we can send one Shaddoll card from our deck to the grave. So it more or less acts as additional copies of every other Shaddoll that we play. And we can send Wendy's, we can send Falcos, we can send Hedgehogs, whatever we really need, Squamata can do that for us. Now, onto some toes. We play 2 Hedgehog. Its flip effect, we can add a spell trap, and if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, we can add a Shaddoll monster. So really nice if we need access to Wendy, if we need access to Squamata. Hedgehog's there for that. Also playing 2 Beast. Arguably you could cut this card down to 1. It's obviously not the greatest. It only draws you a card once into the grave, and its flip effect will draw 2, then discard 1. So it doesn't do a lot when trying to advance plays, but it is a nice optional send-off if you don't really need to send anything else at the moment. Next, which might be a bit controversial, I actually played 2 Aerial. The reason for me playing 2 is that this card is critical to a lot of your combos, especially it's your main target that you're setting off Wendy, and if you draw one, that combo is not live at all, so having a second one is nice. Plus, having 2 available means that you can repeat those combos again, or you can have one send to the grave, send it to your grave, send it to your grave to banish cards, and then you can set one for the following turn to revive a Shaddoll or whatever else you might need. So I do like having 2. Next, for the one-offs, we're playing 1 Dragon, 1 Kios, which I will explain, and 1 Falco. So Dragon and Falco are pretty standard as one-offs. Dragon is just your spell and trap removal. Falco, when sent to the grave, sets it face down, so it's a free monster, which we can use for fusions. And Kios is simply because with Hedgehog, it is just a simple, free, searchable, light target that we can use to make construct. Simple as that. On to some other cards we're playing. We're playing 3 Mathematician. Triggers every single Shaddoll monster, which is why we play it. Also will also trigger our Trick Clown as well. Just helps with another body on board. Is a light target for construct, so on and so forth. Not playing any of the other clowns. I feel like Trick Clown's all you need. Especially since I am playing Kios as another light target. However, you could obviously opt to swap that out for Damage Juggler if you so choose to. Next, I am playing Triple Ash Blossom, 2 Ogre. I feel like this is a fine lineup of hand traps. You could opt to play Gammas instead. I'm just fine with the 2 Ogres and the 3 Ashes, 5 hand traps. I feel is pretty solid for a deck that still wants to go first. Next, we're playing 3 Shaddoll Fusion, 3 L Shaddoll Fusion. Pretty standard. Nothing really much to say about here. They fusion summon. They're great. You obviously want to maximize on that. And also, a nice little tech that I am playing within the deck to further maximize my chances of being able to fusion summon, because you will get hands where you won't see an El Shaddoll or just a normal Shaddoll which is normal Shaddoll fusion. I am playing 2 poly and 1 fusion recycling plant. So the theory with this is that while fusion recycling plant doesn't discard for effect, it discards for cost, so it won't trigger your Shaddolls. Its ability to recycle fusion materials is really good for grind games. Really helps load your hand up with resources for next turn, and like it's just additional copies of polymerization, which I feel the deck does need for the circumstances where you won't open either one of your Shaddoll fusions. Next, for a couple one-offs, we're playing an E-Telly for Wendy since it is a psychic. More access is always nice. Foolish Burial to further trigger Shaddoll effects. And that's it for the spells. On to the traps. We're playing 2 Dynamicious just to out obnoxious cards like Mystic Mine and whatever else. Really like this card as well because when you discard it, it discards for effect, so we can trigger our Shaddoll effect if we discard it. Then I'm playing 2 Shaddoll Incarnation. This is sort of the same thought of playing Aerial. If you hard draw this card, you really struggle to find a way to make the combo unless you have a fusion recycling plan to discard this card. So having a second one means that if we draw 1, we still have another one left in deck. Also allows for repeatability of the combo, etc. And lastly, from Rise of the Duelist, we're playing 1 Shaddoll Schism. This card is insane. However, I'm only playing it as a one-up because it is highly searchable. Construct can dump it, then when we link away Construct or fuse away Construct, we can add it to our hand. Now what this card does, during the main phase, we can fusion summon 1 Shaddoll monster from our extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from our hand or grave, but it cannot attack directly. Then we can send to the grave 1 monster our opponent controls with the same attribute as a fusion monster. We can only activate the effect once per turn. So this is really good because even in circumstances where we've used, say, where we can't make Winda on our turn, Schism allows us to make it on our opponent's turn. It also helps with sort of awkward hands where you're able to dump some cards in grave, but you can't really fuse. Schism allows that to at least put a Winda on board, which is a really, really cool effect, really strong. Also allows us on our turn to easily fusion summon a Construct or whatever else we might need to get some more boys on board, to make some more plays, and hopefully go for game. Now, on to the extra deck. We are playing 3 Shaddoll Constructs. Really standard, best fusion monster in the deck besides Winda. Just dumps Shaddolls to grave, recurs spells and traps, non-once per turns. You have to play it at 3, especially if in a pure variant. And also alongside that, we are playing 2 Windas. I was considering a third, but realistically, you only really need 2. Everyone knows what it does. It's summon limit on legs, more or less, for special summons. Strong card. We're also playing 1 Shikanaga, because we can fuse Crush Heap and a Construct for Shikanaga, and then we can negate a summon by sending a Shaddoll from our hand to the grave. So that's a nice extra piece of disruption. Playing 1 Up Cologne for the on-spot Red Archfiend Abyss Negation style effect. And it also, for that second effect, able to recur. So it's a nice one-off. Anyway, on to the Link monsters. We're playing a Gravity Controller. This is sort of in hands where you can make Construct, but not really put an extra body on board to make Crush Heap. So you can just link away the Construct with the Gravity Controller, and then at the very least, say, set a Schism, or whatever it is you might want to set, that you've added off Construct, and so you're still able to sort of play from there. We're also playing 1 normal Shaddoll Construct. This is just nice as another form of repeatable access of a Link 2. Also another way to fuse as well, which is also pretty good. So yeah, we play 1 of those as well. Playing 1 Crush Heap, of course. This card's amazing for the deck, and it enables so many combos by just, reviving a monster when we summon a Construct of Aerial's effect. Also playing 1 IP Masquerena alongside a Unicorn. This card in general is just really, really good for that extra piece of disruption on our opponent's turn when we need it. Now this spot is sort of a spot that I've sort of been thinking about whether I want to change it or not. I'm currently running a Crusadia Abramax here as a alternative IP Masquerena target. However, I've also been testing Boral Sword because Boral Sword's really good, to just close out games. But it is really either or. It really comes down to personal preference. I currently have Abramax in the build. However, this could be any link for that you want. It could be an Unchained Abomination. It could be an access code. I find Abramax, they're to be a good target, but all of those targets are really good targets for the links for spot that you want to play in the deck. We're also playing one Abyss Dweller, since it is quite easy to make. Really good against graveyard-based decks, shuts them right off. And this is my little pet card of the deck. It's a little tech card that isn't necessarily good, but I think it's fun. And it's a Fortune Lady Every. Now, the reason for me putting this card in my deck, in my extra deck, for one is, if we have a Falco in our hand, we can normal summon it when we have a Winder to make every. So it's a really easy way to get rid of the Winder while keeping, a decent body on board. Plus it is a light target as well, which can be relevant for construct plays. And let's say, for instance, that we use it for material for construct on our opponent's end phase, we can summon it back, and then we can, on our standby phase, we can banish one thing they control. So it is also a nice, quick, consistent access for removal on our turn. Anyway, that will come to the end of my deck profile, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This deck is fun. This deck's great. I encourage you guys to test it. Please feel free to leave a comment below on anything I should change, or just general feedback, or whatever is in general. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I've got plenty more videos coming up. Heaps more Rise of the Duelists. We've got Rika. We have Ancient Warriors as well. And I really hope that you guys enjoy those upcoming videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.